Hey everyone, welcome to week 2, authentication and access controls. This week we're going to talk about how they work and why they matter in cybersecurity. Thinking of all the things that we do online that we try to keep private, unauthorized access is one of the top causes of data breaches. Having strong authentication and access controls prevent identity theft, data leaks, and corrupted systems. They protect users, organizations, and data to make sure that intruders are kept out and the right people have the right level of access. Authentication is the process of verifying that someone is who they claim to be, and it makes you prove your identity before giving access. Some examples of this would be username and password, fingerprint, Face ID, and multi-factor authentication. Something you know is the most common type of authentication. It's something that only you know and not anyone else. The best example is a password or a PIN that's specific to you. If someone else guesses it, they can't pretend to be you, which is why it's important to make it strong and also not share it with others. Something you have can be something physical, like your phone or ID card. When you get a code sent to your phone during login, the system checks that device is with you. And if someone does try to get into something that is yours, you still need that specific device to get in. Another example of this could be like a passkey when logging into apps through different devices. Something you are is based on something about your body that's unique to you, like your fingerprint, face, eyes, or even your voice. An example of this is that I have to clock in through work some days using my eyes, and that's how I get clocked in and out through work. Another example of Face ID or Touch ID would be unlocking your phone. And if you don't have the fingerprint or the facial recognition, it's very hard to steal information, or can be hard to steal information. To keep things more secure, a lot of systems use 2 or more of these options together, which is multi-factor authentication. So if you log in to UAlbany's portal, sometimes you might have to verify yourself using the dual app to make sure that it's really you. And then they ask you if this is your device, your personal device, or a community device. I also put in a video on the last bullet to just give you a little more depth on what these 3 things are and why they're important. Access controls determine who can access what resources and controls what they're allowed to do. Once your authenticated access control kicks in, an example of this would be just because you're logged in to something doesn't mean you can change something. When you're inside a building, an example of this would be you have a badge, but your badge only allows you to go to certain areas of that building. There are a few types of access control models. One of those would be discretionary access controls, which allow users to control access to their own resources. Mandatory access controls, which use a central authority with strict security level-based policies. And role-based access controls grants permission based on user's role or function. These 2 things, authorization and access control, are important because without them, hackers are able to steal information, privacy gets violated, and systems can be destroyed. A green flag, or with these controls, it ensures the safety of data. Only the correct people get access, and systems stay secure. Both authorization and access control work together of the same security system, and both are essential. Authentication is your primary line of defense, so the system knows who you are before letting you in. And then once you're in, the access control kicks in and controls what you're allowed to do. If you only have one or the other, you're more prone to passwords being stolen and having full access. Having both of them allows systems to be protected from unauthorized access and actions. If systems don't use authentication or access control, different bad things can happen. You can have data breaches, identity theft, unauthorized access, as well as company hacks. Although you still have these systems in place, A lot of breaches can happen due to our mistakes. So what we do also matters just as much as the technology. Some ways to stay secure is to use strong passwords. Having weak or reused passwords, I feel like you're more prone to security risk. It's easier to guess that password because it is heavily used so much, and people are allowed to gain access to everything that you do. Enabling two-factor authentication provides extra layer of protection, and even if someone steals your password, they can't get in without that specific device. Another way to stay secure is to not share your login information, even with people that you trust. Just because you can't control how someone else will use your account or your credentials. And if they do something, it looks like you did it, even though it might not have been intentional, because the system only sees your identity behind that account. The last thing, or one of the last ways you could stay secure is to log out of shared or public devices. And although it might be easy to forget, just because we all use public devices, just we should ensure that we log out of those devices fully instead of just signing out. Make sure we log out. To wrap up authentication and access controls, authentication is you are who you say you are. Access controls means you can only do what you're allowed, and both of them together protect your privacy and security.